I had to completely detangle this whole idea of work-life balance nonsense and really learn to live in flow with both motherhood and work at the same time. So I want you to just realize that there are so many things that are, I don't want to say out of your control, but that have actually put a lot of pressure on you as a woman that actually probably doesn't really work for you. Let's just bring awareness. We're not trying to fix anything. We're not optimizing today as much as we love to optimize. We're just becoming aware. And then it's the awareness is the first piece is okay, this system, this doesn't work for me. What will work for me? Well, welcome to Biohacking with Brittany, the podcast where science meets wisdom. I'm Brittany Ford, holistic nutritionist, biohacker, and mom. And for years, I struggled with gut issues, hormonal imbalances, and the exhaustion of motherhood while running a business. Biohacking and functional medicine became my way back to clarity, vitality, and trust in my body. And that's why I'm here, not just to share information, but to share the practices and perspectives that truly shifted my health and my life. Each week, I bring you science-backed tools, honest conversations, and rituals I live myself so you can return to your own body's wisdom and create longevity on your own terms. Because your body already knows this is just the space to remember. Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of my free masterclass. So this was the masterclass that I launched in January, all about women's longevity, intuitive longevity, and really connecting to ourselves. I'm so excited to be publishing this publicly, putting it everywhere. And I did this because I really think there was so much value to it and so much content, and I just really wanted to share it. Part 2 is much different than part 1. Part 2, I really suggest having a piece of paper with you or your phone because there are prompts for journaling as we move through the different body systems and chakras and see where there might be a blockage. There might be a blockage and things that you might be struggling with and how that relates to your life, your health, and your intuition. I'm not going to give away more than that. And I know from everyone who came live that there were breakthroughs from this. So that's so exciting for everybody there. If you want to join my community, I strongly suggest you do so. It's only $97 a month. You can even pay for the year, which is actually cheaper. And you get access to me. We are doing bi-weekly calls with everybody. We're doing private podcasts and bi-weekly ish protocols, first access to my retreats, my VIP upgrades, all my discount codes, so many good things to come. We're going to be doing challenges soon. And I'm just really excited about this new community that we're building over at the Long Her Life community. So I will link that in the show notes so that you can find it easily and would love to have you join us. And a shout out to my retreat. I know that there's a few of you listening who are thinking about coming. For me, when I chose to go on my retreat, my most recent retreat, it was just a gut feeling. And it came up a few times and I kept thinking about it. I was like, oh, I got to register. I got to sign up. I should probably go. And it was just this knowing in my stomach, in my gut, that there's going to be answers that come through there that are worth the time, effort, and money to get to that location and to be there, away from my family and my job and things like that. So I understand. If that's you, now's the time to sign up because we only have a couple of spots left. And I would love to have you in Costa Rica with me. If you're watching online, I'm in Costa Rica right now. The energy here is so healing. It's so magnetic and it's so optimistic and positive. And I just can't even explain to you how different it is from Canada, to be honest. It's just a really, really luxurious place, but not in a luxurious place of bougie, more luxurious of good vibes, positivity. You can just feel the energy in the air. So it's really beautiful. And I really encourage you, again, I'm not here to convince you to join me. I'm here to say that if you have a deep gut feeling of hey, I need to do something different with my life. I need to do something different this year. I don't want to have another year like last year. This is what I would recommend. I've been on retreats and they've changed my life. And I'm going on multiple this year. What am I doing this year? I'm doing another mastermind one, which is like a business focused one, intuitive business type of thing. I am looking at doing a couples retreat with my husband. I'm thinking about doing ayahuasca by myself, going on an ayahuasca retreat. And that's, kind of what is on the horizon for me. And so, I would love to have you join me in Costa Rica. You could be right here with me in the sunshine. In case you are, depends on where you are. Let me tell you right now, it's 30 degrees. I just looked at my phone. It's 30 degrees. It's 12:30 p.m. midday. And it's just beautiful. Anyway, so if you know, you know. Enjoy this second part of the masterclass, and I will catch you next week for another episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi. Hello, camera's on. Ideally.
Sorry,
That's okay.
my dog says hi.
Dogs are welcome. We're going to continue to let people in as they join. Hello. I am so excited about today. Oh my gosh, Thursday. I hope the energy is like just radiating through you as well. I'm so excited about today. I'm going surfing tonight. It's like the perfect way to end the day, is like what I'm looking forward to. But more than that, I'm excited to be here with you and to kind of go through this shift today. So, yesterday, I feel like we really started to scratch the surface on talking about women's health and longevity and intuition. And I definitely got some DMs and some feedback from you of saying like, wow, I had no idea that like this was all connected. And I didn't know that has actually been causing like low grade stress in my body and it's impacting my health. And it's really beautiful to see people kind of connecting the dots in such a beautiful way. And so today we're actually doing a lot of reflection. We're definitely going to be going deeper, and there's going to be a lot of activations and things that might come up for you. So I really encourage you, if you're watching live, to have a pencil, pen, paper, because this one is like way more engaged than yesterday. So let me know when you're ready to go. And Dev, you are welcome. Let her into the room. I feel like I was so excited yesterday. I also feel like I was talking fast when I look back on it. But you know what? Like when you move into alignment of work that feels really good for you, like you just can't like help it. You know what I mean? Like it's just like lights your soul on fire. So today we are going to definitely slow down a little bit. Transformation. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. So if you want to put one word in the chat on like how you're arriving today, I would love that. Whatever you feel like kind of speaks to you. I feel my word would be, it would be excited, but I also feel like very embodied. And I'm also on my period right now. So I feel like when I'm on my period, I'm very grounded as well. So that's kind of like my energy today. Excited. Yeah, Natasha, I'm glad you are as well. Everyone can kind of keep adding in as we go. So something I want to talk about before we kind of get into our like deep reflection that we're going to do shortly is something about the systems that we are in. Oh, peaceful. I love that. Um, when we talk about longevity and health and we talk about alignment and being in misalignment, I was kind of like reflecting on this and I was thinking like, and we talked about this yesterday of like, why are we in misalignment so often as women? And it actually does have a lot to do with the systems that we are in and we have subscribed to or we're forced into, however you want to look at it. And women don't burn out because we care too much. we burn out because we are in these systems that actually really reward overriding ourselves and overriding our intuition. So, something I was reading in a business book last week, which I thought was so interesting, is that I was reading about the work week and the Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, which is now like 8 to 6. I don't know about you guys, but this work week that we have. And it was actually talking about who created the work week, who created that. And before I had read this in this book, I actually didn't even think about the creation of that system because our whole society just like follows this entire system. And the person who created it was actually Henry Ford, who is the same guy who obviously created Ford Motors, who created the manufacturing of cars, right? So, like, really breaking it down into different parts. And every person does the same thing over and over and over again. And it like makes this like factory of cars. And he created the work week. So before he decided that, people are going to work 5 days on, 2 days off, everyone was working 6 days a week. And what he realized, someone asked him and they said, who is your ideal customer? Like, who is buying your car? And he said, actually, the people who work in my factories are my ideal customer. And then he had this realization of, oh, but they actually don't have time to use the car. They don't have time to drive anywhere. Because Sundays was like, and it still is, quite a religious day. They would go to church and then they'd be back to work on Mondays. And so what he did was like, he took a step back and he said, okay, I'm actually going to give everyone Saturday off. You're going to be working 5 days, 2 days off. And then on Saturdays, you now have somewhere to go and you now have this like need for this car. And it worked. He increased the raises of everybody. He gave everybody Saturday and Sunday off. And his business and Ford Motors exploded. And all the people working there ended up saving up and ended up buying the cars that they were working on, which is wild. And my point of this is that is just one system that we are living in that was created by man, obviously nothing against men, but does not acknowledge the flow and the rhythm of being a woman. And we are stuck in this, like even school, right? Like school is Monday to Friday. It's like starts so young. It's not like it's just the work week. And I've had this discussion a few times with a few different women on my podcast last year. I was talking to the founder of Seed Probiotics, who created Seed. I don't know if you guys know what Seed is, but it's a really, really robust probiotic. It's a great product. They have a product for adults and for kids. And we were talking about this, and we were talking about how do you navigate motherhood and being an entrepreneur of such a successful business? Like, how do you make that work? And the system says, oh, like put your kids into childcare and daycare and go to work 9 to 5. And that's the system you have to work in. And so her and some of the other women that I've talked to, some other entrepreneurs, have completely like flipped this on its head and created a system that works for them. So I think there is something really powerful there of like, first of all, recognizing the systems that we're in that actually really don't work for women, let alone mothers. Like they really just don't work. And then it's this question of like, how do we change them so that it suits our rhythm and our flow better, which then helps us live in alignment, which then helps us feel better, thrive, be healthier, and enhances our longevity. And honestly, I think I want to do like a whole call in my community on like how I've structured my work week as a mom, because I had to completely detangle this whole idea of work-life balance nonsense, and really learn to like live in flow with both motherhood and work at the same time. So I want you to just like as we're doing this work today, like just realize that there are so many things that are I don't want to say out of your control, but that have actually like put a lot of pressure on you as a woman that like actually probably doesn't really work for you. And even doing this work today is like, let's open our eyes and actually like, let's just see. Let's just bring awareness. We're not trying to fix anything. We're not optimizing today as much as we love to optimize. We're just becoming aware. And then it's like the awareness is the first piece is like, okay, this system, this doesn't work for me. What will work for me? So we are going to do a full body scan today, which I love doing these. I don't know if you guys have ever done these before, but we're going to do a full body scan. We're going to start from the bottom and we're going to work our way up. And we're going to kind of go with the chakras. If anyone has done any chakra work here, we're going to kind of tune into the chakras in relation to some of the other things that we're talking about and work through them. So your body stores this like information long before we actually might even realize it. So we're going to kind of start to like identify some symptoms and signs that we might think are normal, but actually are in relation to misalignment that we might be feeling in our bodies. So you can do this a couple ways. I invite you to, you could put hands on the different parts of your body if you feel like that helps you connect to that space. That really helps me connect. And we're definitely going to write some notes and like kind of assess what's going on as well. So I'm going to put some music on. Let me see if you guys, I think I have to play it first. Okay. This is like really nice journaling music. Where did you go? Can you guys hear this? Yes? Yeah, you're nodding. Okay. I'll just make sure it's not too loud. I'm going to talk as well. Okay. I feel like the music helps me drop in. Okay. So we're going to start with the root, with our hips, with our gut area. So I invite you to close your eyes just for a second and bring your attention to your lower belly and your hips and your legs. And you can put your hands there if you really want to like feel that part of yourself. Notice any tension, any heaviness or numbness, or maybe nothing at all. And really what is coming up for you. This area in our body reflects support, stability, and often this idea of like carrying everything alone. Misalignment here can feel like, or can show up as gut health issues, fatigue, and anxiety around time, money, lack of feeling grounded. So in your notebook, and when you're ready, on a scale from 1 to 10, we're going to kind of rate all of these that we go through. How much tightness or pressure do you feel in this area today? If you want to put in the chat what your number is, from a scale from 1 to 10, how much tightness or pressure do you feel? When I first got into health, I was a teenager. And I had gut health issues. I didn't know it at the time, but I was dealing with things like leaky gut and parasites and dysbiosis. And when I look back now at that time in my life, when I was 16, 17, I was actually really struggling with stability. My parents were getting divorced at that time. And I think that was part of this like deeper misalignment that I was feeling in my life. You know, this idea of like having anxiety around time, money for sure at that time, but the lack of support as well that I felt at that time in my life. And so it's just interesting looking back and being like, oh, this is how it was showing up in my body. Took a while to figure out it was gut health issues, but just turning it down a bit. Lower back 7. Yeah. If you guys want to put your numbers in the chat, yeah, there can be a lot of like tightness and pressure in the lower back there related to that. And even like indigestion and all the symptoms as well that can come from that. Lower back 6. Yeah. I used to also, like when we're talking about gut health, I used to also, I think a lot of women do this, is like suck in our bellies and try to be smaller and like hold it tight. I did that a lot at that point in my life. Shrinking myself in relationship to the instability, the lack of support that I felt. Sure. Yeah. Okay. We're going to move up the body and we're going to bring our attention to our lower abdomen. This is the sacral chakra, if you want to call it. And if you notice any sensation, warmth, tension, emptiness, this one is really sensitive for me. I think this is sensitive for a lot of moms. This area holds our menstrual cycle, our ovaries, of course, our hormones, hormonal regulation, dysregulation, desire, cycles, emotional boundaries is a really big one here. And misalignment shows up as cycle issues, PMS, burnout, resentment, loss of pleasure in life or for yourself or in general with your body. Misalignment here as well can also show up as menopause and perimenopause showing up earlier than it historically has in your family. It can also show up if you've had things like a hysterectomy or any type of surgeries down there, C-section, that type of thing. It's a very sensitive space for women. The womb. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how much pressure do you feel there in this area today? Is there tightness? Is there pain? How much? 5, 6. Yeah. And is there a word that comes up for you? Is there a word that comes up for you with this? With this area? So like tight or heavy, disconnected, sad, quiet, alive. I mean, it could be any word that comes up. This is like something I have shared quite a bit about, but I had cysts on my ovaries for a while. And I had a really bad hemorrhagic cyst before I got pregnant, which was really difficult. And I think I'm still processing the irregular cycles that I had and still have. And how does that relate to alignment? Right. So if we think about alignment of like this area really showcases burnout and resentment and loss of pleasure. And I think back to those days of like having cysts on my ovaries before I had my kid. And it's like, is that something that I was feeling that I was ignoring? And I think it was. Like, I think I was in a low state of burnout, of like maybe just not even admitting it to myself. I worked a lot. So many of us work so much, honestly. Like, we work on weekends and we have side gigs and we have this and that. And I guess like the question now becomes, if you are feeling this like sense of heaviness there or tightness, like how does that relate to what you're going through mentally and emotionally? This one feels the most sensitive to me. And I think it is for women. I just think there's so much power in the womb. It's like the birthplace, and not just of children, of everything, of like ideas. Oh my gosh, it's our power. It really is our power. I want to move up to the solar plexus. This has to do with metabolism and inflammation. So if you want to bring awareness to your upper belly, notice holding, which is kind of what I mentioned earlier, bracing, pressure. This center is the proving center. We talked about yesterday a little bit. The people-pleasing part of us is here in the solar plexus. And misalignment shows up here as weight resistant, blood sugar issues, and autoimmune flares. And it's often tied to self-worth. Especially self-worth through productivity. So from 0 to 10, how much pressure do you feel here? How much tightness or heaviness? Bracing, holding. Yeah, put it in the chat. 7, 7, 6. Yeah. 3, power. Michelle, that's great. Yeah. I see this in my mom, actually. Ugh. She's been through so much, and this sense of self-worth, something that I've seen her struggle with. And some of these symptoms of like weight resistance I've seen her struggle with, or autoimmune issues. And this need that we have to people please and to be constantly productive and busy. Like, I'm worth more if I'm productive. I'm more valuable to people around me, or people will notice me or thank me or be happy with me if I do more. I've been there. I think we all kind of slip back into that so easily. And then you feel bad for resting. Like, you feel bad for relaxing. There's always something I should be doing. Oh, the dishes need to be done, the laundry, this, that. Like, I'm not good enough if I'm just resting. That's another system that like society has put on us. That's not a reflection of just you. That is like deep societal conditioning. Like, do more, grind, hustle, then you will achieve and be successful, and then you are a better human in society, and you are more valuable, and you will get everything you wanted. And yet the people who are doing that are the most unhappy, the unhealthiest. So there's a different way. There's a different way to do it. I want to move up to our heart and our chest. Notice your chest, your shoulders, your upper back, and your neck. I feel like so many of us have neck issues and neck pain. This is where emotional labor lives. Misalignment shows up as emotional exhaustion, frequent illness. We all know those people, or maybe it's you, who are constantly sick or have the same illness show up again and again and again. It's often linked to self-abandonment. So from 0 to 10, how much pressure do you feel here today? Natasha, shoulders 7. Yeah. Four. I went through this period of, in your heart. Yeah. I went through this period postpartum of having a lot of pain in let me think about it, in my shoulders and in my rhomboid. Like, the rhomboid is the area that is between the shoulders and the back. And now it's gone. And I look back on that time, early postpartum days, and I think, was it the constant breastfeeding and the posture? Or was it that there was so much self-sacrifice in motherhood that I just felt emotionally weighed down and unsupported? It's probably both. And so the body, like, that's the point here, is like the body is so deeply connected to our mind and our soul and like what is actually happening in our life. These like symptoms and signs aren't just random things that happen to us, or we're getting older, right? Everyone kind of blames everything on aging now. It's like we're getting older, so this is normal. Let's normalize this. It's like, no, actually, what's like deeply going on with you? And how is it showing up in your body? And how have you been ignoring these symptoms and signs for years? And now it's getting worse. Or it's like manifesting into something way more serious. I think true healing really requires a lot of self-work and self-reflection like this. And it's honestly, it's really uncomfortable sometimes. I want to move up to the throat. So this is the throat, the thyroid, and of course, your voice. So I want you to notice like your throat, your jaw, even your neck can be related here. This reflects expression and truth. Being silenced. Misalignment shows up as thyroid issues, voice suppression, chronic tension. Do you feel like you regularly say what you need to say? I think women are taught to be quiet and polite. And if you voice what you want, are assertive and aggressive and bossy and demanding. And this happens a lot in relationships and at work. Women have to play by different rules. Again, like systems, society, conditioning. You know, I actually forgot about this, but they've studied emails from women versus from men. And women use way more exclamation marks in their emails than men do. Because women are trying to be like, have a great day. So nice to hear from you. Like just trying to be so nice and polite. And men don't do that. But we are conditioned to be like that. Like, oh my gosh, I have to wish this person a nice day. And oh, they had a kid. I hope your baby's doing well. Like we're just, oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. I do that. Less now, but I do that. And so I really want you to think about this. Like, do you feel like you get to say what you need to say at work? Or in a specific relationship that you might have? I know for me, like I can think of different examples, but when I feel silenced, I have a lot of like anger that actually builds in my body and resentment. Devin, a lot of the time, no. Yeah. Like I feel like, yeah, it like sits in me. Then I think back like, oh, I should have said this. Or next time I'll do that. Michelle, I used to worry about what I say and who will judge me. I gave that up for New Year's. That's incredible. That's amazing. It's a great New Year's resolution. Yeah. I deal with this a lot with my dad. We have a very complicated relationship. And It's been tough. It's been tough having a kid and navigating him and kid and boundaries and this and that. And it's like very deep conditioning from such a young age of like, this is how you are with your dad. This is your relationship. And so now if you try to change that, then he's going to react like this. And it's very complicated stuff. And it's at work a lot too. I went through that back before I ran my business full time. And I know some of you, like personally on this call, like I know that that's kind of maybe what you're dealing with at work as well, is maybe you asked for that raise and you didn't get that raise. And so like when those types of things happen where you say, you stick up for yourself, you put up a boundary, you voice yourself, right? Like you actually voice what you need in life and want, and then it's given to you. How is that going to now manifest in your body until you do something else about it? If that relates to anybody, like even people watching the replay, like I went through that in an old job that I had. I asked for a raise and I didn't get it. And they actually forgot. And it sat in my body as resentment and anger. And think about how much stress that caused me, like inflammation, loss of sleep. I used to wake up at night thinking about it. So silly. And of course, I ended up quitting 6 months later. I should have just quit there and then. I wasn't being valued. I wasn't being seen. So it's like the throat's interesting because we often feel silenced, but then what happens when we voice what we want or we say what we want, but it's not responded to in the way that we need? That's also like part of it too. Because then now it's time for action. Like you have to do something. The last one is the crown and the nervous system. So I want you to bring awareness to the top of your head, like up here. You think of the crown of your head, where a lot of people feel headaches, of course. If you notice any pressure, buzzing, tightness, or spaciousness. Common signs when this is out of alignment here is like overthinking, mental fatigue, difficulty sleeping, and disconnection from intuition or trust. Tension in the temples. Yeah, that's very specific. Yeah. Misalignment here is like you're living in the mind instead of your whole body. Can feel like you're carrying responsibility by yourself or you're alone. Or difficulty surrendering control. Tension in the shoulders, neck, and chest. So from a scale, from 0 to 10 on a scale, how much pressure do you feel in your crown and your head right now? Pressure in the center of your head, 6. 3. I used to turn this down a little bit. I used to, I think a lot of us probably have, I used to wake up in the middle of the night with racing thoughts. And so typical I started to go through my to-do list. Tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to do and then I'm going to do like a million things. Always around 3 o'clock, 3 in the morning, which is a whole other thing you can look up. I forget what the name of it, but like the time when you wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night can relate to different parts of the body. 7, a pressure in the temples. Yeah, Devin. Many high achieving women live up here, wake up and they racing thoughts, this, that, and that. They're managing, they're planning, they're anticipating, they're holding everything together, everyone together. And they feel the pressure in the temples, they get the headaches. And there's a lack of like connecting into their body. And I've definitely been there. These are the women as well who can't meditate or like don't want to do yoga or that type of thing. When it's like, actually, that's what you need. The thing that you're resisting is actually what you need. And will make the biggest difference for you. Is because it really does actually like ground you, connect you to your body, and get you out of your head. So I'm so curious in the chat, or you don't have to, which area of your body had the most, like was the highest number, like has the most tension, pressure, heaviness, misalignment. Second chakra, my gut. Deborah, your abdomen, most pressure at the lower back. A lot of first and second chakras here. Yeah. Emotions. I think as well, like what is important to recognize with this type of like reflection is that every day something else could come up, right? Like it's not like you're like, oh, this one thing, okay, that's it for the rest of my life. It's like, no, women are very dynamic. So it's going to change with our life, with our cycle, with our seasons, with everything that we're going through. There's different parts and different times where it might flare up, and then you might heal that part of you, and then something else might come up. But I think the point is to really recognize it and bring awareness to it. And so my question to you to reflect on is like, what area showed up the most today as needing your attention, which you've identified? And what does that mean to you? And how does that relate to your life? Because yesterday we talked about, in day one, we talked about these areas that you are feeling misalignment. So you already know if it's whatever relationship it might be, where you're living, jobs. Something might have happened. There might have been a traumatic event. And it doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. It just means that it's showing up in your body, and your body's communicating to you. Emotions, living in the US. Yeah. And I think a really powerful question is, what are you holding that no one else sees? I think women hold a lot. We hold a lot in our bodies and in our minds. And we need to be able to like work through it and let go. Makes me sad and helpless. You are not helpless. There's a lot of help available to you. And you're doing the work right now. You're literally doing the work right now to heal through that. I think that support is so important here. Deborah, praying for the US daily. I think support is so important here, like even for each other right now, like clearly in the chat, but also just in general. When we're going through these different life seasons and we're struggling with misalignment and it's impacting our health, what support do we have? Like myself, as I'm navigating the misalignment that I feel where I currently live, is like I'm in therapy. Last year, I joined a mastermind for women because I felt like I needed to be surrounded by women who were running businesses like me, who are entrepreneurs, who are moms. Like I needed to be around women who had the same values, which I didn't feel like was possible in the place that I was living. I started creating new friends that, again, had the same values as me for support. Values of health, having a growth mindset, nature, things like that. And this really does impact longevity. Longevity isn't built by becoming more disciplined, regardless of what Gary Brecka or Ben Greenfield or Dave Asprey or whoever might tell you. It's built by becoming more supported and becoming more you. And like the one question we did yesterday, right? Like if you were to live in alignment and this part of your body, which you just identified, was no longer experiencing the symptoms that you're experiencing, how would that feel? Like, oh my God, that would feel amazing. I would feel like light and inspired and happy and joyful. Like there's just this like release and relief. I have a couple more questions I'm going to ask, and I really encourage you to think about them over the weekend. You can think about them now too. The first one is, who have you been to survive? Like who I've been to survive is, like if I were going to answer, who I've been to survive is someone who, gosh, does a lot, pushes through, grinds, hustles, right? You can write whatever speaks to you in that space. And then the next one, I can write these in the chat too if you guys need me to write them out. But the next one is who I'm becoming to thrive. Who are you becoming to thrive? And this is like, you should feel this like excitement. Yeah, those are the questions, Natasha. Who are you becoming to thrive? Like for me, I think of like being a woman who walks in light and alignment and embodiment, moving with intention. Intentionality is huge, huge. Absolutely. Thinking things through. Trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition and your gut. And then the last one is, if I lived as more me, I would like living a purpose-driven life. Exactly. So if you finish this sentence, and you can put this in the chat in just a few words if you want. If I lived as more me, I would. I would go on vacation more. Yeah. Spend more time in silence. Yeah, guys, these are great answers. Go on vacation more is like you need rest. You need time off. You need to be away from the hustle and the bustle of working. Spend more time in silence. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see that. I've actually been thinking about going on a silent retreat. Probably not this year, but in the future, I want to try that because I think that we often feel overstimulated. There's so much noise around us. And then when we get quiet and silent, it's like there's so much beauty that comes and information and answers. Yeah. These are beautiful answers, guys. And I'm like, thank you for sharing. I know it's like very personal stuff. And so, yeah, it's normal if like emotions came up for you during this practice too. And if they do later today and tomorrow and this weekend as you continue to reflect. This is why I created my community, the Longer Life community. And just so you know, like this is like not really public, but I'm going to share it, is like I'm actually rebranding and moving away from Biohacking Brittany to the Longer Life, like spelt like this. Let me put this in the chat, like long her life. And I created this Longer Life community because we need a space to talk about this. Like we need a space to talk about women's health, yes, of course, and wellness for sure, but longevity and soul and self and intuition. We need a space like that. We need the community. We need the support. The support actually sustains the change that you're looking for. It creates alignment. It helps you see the misalignment and helps you actually step into alignment. The communities that I joined last year, life-changing. Like actually, they literally changed my life. So I will put my link in the chat right now for the Longer Life if you want to join. Right now, we're doing the Founders Special just for the next few days. This is for the year, as it's just launched and you guys get access to it. And then after this weekend, the Founders Special will be closed. Yeah, expires in 72 hours. In the community, we're doing bi-weekly calls with me. And I will actually put the full website so you can see it right here. thelongerlife.com. There you go. That should work. So we're doing bi-weekly calls. The first call will be like question and answer. So it'll be hot seat. So you can come up, ask your questions. Yeah, thank you. And I'm going to be answering all like health questions related to women's longevity, obviously self and soul and everything like that as well, because we are bridging all of this. Intuitive longevity, like I said, is what I'm calling it. And then we will be doing deep dives on my protocols. So I am putting out protocols weekly, and there is a space for protocols. So when we talk about like these different health issues or symptoms and signs, like there is something to be said about what recommendations I have, right? Of supplements, lifestyle changes, things like that. But that's only a part of it. So I wanted to create a space that like brings in that, like here you get all the discounts on all my products, you get my recommendations, absolutely. But here are the calls where we can also go deeper as well. So there's a course in there, there's our calls, there's the private podcast. This is something I've been working on for months, and essentially you get access to all the people I have on my podcast and you get to ask them your specific questions, which I love. So what I've been doing is like me as experts, we hop on our podcast, then we come out and for 10 minutes, I ask them community questions. So if you're like, you know, I don't know who you guys might know, like Alex Clark is coming on soon. If you know her, you could ask her questions and then I would read your questions to her. That's essentially how it works. It's like my favorite place on the internet. It's my community. And then we have my retreat as well. And I know you guys know about it. Actually, I have a retreat guest who's on this call right now. This is massive. I went on a retreat in the fall and it changed my life. I think I'm going on 2 this year. I have my Costa Rica retreat in literally less than 2 months. I think there's only 1 spot left. So if you want to join us, you can. That's from March 2nd to 7th. And in the chat and also in the description below for everyone who's watching the replay, I will put, you can book a call with me if you want to come. It's going to be epic. There's so much, the healing that you do in a retreat can honestly be more than like what you do in an entire year, because it's a whole week just like focused on yourself and the growth is massive. That's like, can't even describe it to people who haven't been on a retreat before, because it's just. So you are welcome to join me in Costa Rica. I would love that. This could be your background for, a week. And yeah, let me know. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do this work alone that you are going through right now. I'm here for you and the community is here for you. Thank you guys for joining day 2. This has been amazing and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for this moment and this time, and this really does mean a lot to me. If you have any questions, you can email me, send me a message on Instagram. I'm always on. And I would love to hear from you. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad you did. Yeah. Okay. Bye, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see VIPs tomorrow. Otherwise, let's connect. And I hope to see you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to Biohacking with Brittany. I hope today's conversation gave you something to take into your own life, a practice, a perspective, or simply a reminder to trust your body. If you love this episode, please leave a review, share it with someone else who could benefit, and join me over on Instagram at biohackingbrittany for more. And if you're ready to go deeper, you can explore my retreats, community, favorite tools, all linked for you in the show notes. Until next time, remember, your body already knows.